ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Ultra Hero 500 series number 81 Ultraman Trigger Power Type and number 82 Ultraman Trigger Sky Type. We will also be taking a look at the Bandai Ultra Monster 500 series number 150 Hudram and number 151 Gazort. Up first, we will be taking a look at Ultraman Trigger Power Type and Sky Type. Side note, it honestly feels really nice to finally have all three of Ultraman Trigger's forms together, Multi, Power, and Sky. They all look really great with one another, and alongside their Ultraman Tiga counterparts. Just look at all this, the colors, the multicolors, the reds, the violets with the blues. I have to calm down. I'm sorry, this is just really cool for me. Anyway, up first we'll be talking about Power Type Trigger, and in all honesty, he looks really great. Yes, he is missing a number of paint applications on here, but this is something that we've grown used to. Right, Rob? Taking a close look at Power Type's head, we've got the crazy Herculean mohawk, we've got the gold bands wrapping around his head. The detail is fantastic, but we will have a nick at the top of the mohawk over here. We will have a nick on the eye over here, and the eye is a little bit low because it wasn't properly applied to the figure.
Oh, I promise I'm okay.
Anyway, the detail still looks fantastic regardless of wonky paint applications. Taking a look at the Ultra Titties over here, they look absolutely fantastic. The runic bands covering the Ultra Nips, the Ultra Color Timer, the detail over here is truly fantastic. The paint is a bit spotty, especially... You know I'm supposed to expect the least when it comes to these, but this is upsetting. It really is. It's like, yeah, they're $3, $4, $5 each, but come on, man, a little bit more love and care, especially if you're going to paint them halfedly. Ooh, the detail on the wrist gauntlets is fantastic. Wow, even on both sides. Look at that hand. Painted segment on the side of the thigh over here is pretty nice. You know, just half. Same amount of praise for the other side. Detail is going to get a full star from me, and paint is going to get half a star from me. I keep trying to get over it, but then I get a figure like this that just has too much wrong with it, and... Anyway, taking a look at Power Type's tag, we've got a very beautiful image of him on the front of the tag with the Ultra Hero series logo on it. He is number 81. Got a bunch of stuff over here that I don't know what it means. That might be metric tons or meters, something like that. The Ultra Hero and Monster 500 series tags are really starting to grow on me. In you go! We appreciate power. Up next is Ultraman Trigger Sky Type, and I must absolutely say, I think Sky Type is going to be my favorite form of Ultraman Trigger. You know why? It's the solid blue lines on him. I just love where all of the baby blue lines are, and I also love the design of the head. Just look at this thing. This bleeds aerodynamic. It also bleeds that it could have used a little bit more gold over here on the top. But man, this just looks so very cool. Even this side that's clearly missing some gold. And the chest detail over here is just fantastic. That beautifully strong metallic blue. The simple yet elegant silver and gold with the runic detail on the inner sides of them, along with these solid baby blue stripes. I really like these things. I really do. The paint on some of these really could have been done a little bit better. Yet again, we have some beautiful details on the wrist gauntlets. On both sides, but mostly from the top, because look at that beautiful solid baby blue line. Dear God, that paint application. This is... oof. The detail's great, but damn, Bandai, come on. Speaking of which, look at how off that is. Oh no! Well, at least the baby blue lines over here look okay to a sense. Well, at least the baby blue lines on the other side look really good to a sense. Yeah, he might be my favorite form of Ultraman Trigger, but this figure does have some pretty poor paint applications. I'm definitely going to give this guy a half a star. And I'm pretty sure I didn't mention it with Power Type, but both figures over here are going to remain mostly unpainted on the back, and this is how much paint they are missing. Blah blah, boo-hoo. Did you not notice how much more swole Power Type Trigger is? What a beefcake. Anyway, here is Sky Type's tag. Lot of blue, lot of awesome. Look at that design. I absolutely love it. Got nothing going on in here. Not too much going on in the back. Fly through the sky, my guy. Bandai. Up next, Ultra Monster Series 500, number 150, Hudram. Hudram first appeared in Ultraman Tiga The Final Odyssey as Hudra, and Hudram as a personality, as a person, monster, dark titan. His personality really reminds me of Girahim from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. He's cocky, he's sleek, he's kind of got this above everyone else attitude, and he's just really fun to watch on screen. His figure representation, though, is just okay. Yeah, it could have looked a little bit better, but this is the 500 series, and I guess just okay is just okay.
Past, present, and future Rob here, and I just wanted to say that this figure honestly looks a lot better than I really gave it credit for. While it is missing some colors and some color variation here and there, it's honestly really spot on. Good stuff, Bandai.
I really love the detail on the head, and I love the subtle change of metallic blues on this guy. If you can tell, his eyes and the rest of his head are two different shades of metallic blue. The eyes are a shade or two lighter than what's on the rest of the head. It's a small detail, but it's a small detail that I honestly really appreciate. Again, detail on the head, fantastic. Detail on the chest is pretty good, and we have his color timer over here, which looks like a really mean, evil eye just staring at you. Imagine having an evil eye on your Ultra Titty. The detail, especially on the black half over here, is really nice. We've got what looks more like armor than anything else going on the black side. Same could be said on the back over here. But moving on to his right arm, you can see this tornado of metallic blue going on here. It's very nicely detailed, and it looks like Kayako from The Grudge is just going to burst out of his shoulder blade, which is a really terrifying thought. But if we look at his tag over here, you can see that it's kind of like it's something, I guess. But we'll get back to the tag in a second. Lots of nice detail on the white side over here. But moving on to the metallic blue gauntlet over here, Hudram has what I like to call the Doomslayer blade from Doom Eternal. Yes, unfortunately, no blade can really, just shoot out because this is a vinyl figure. But the detail is truly fantastic. Just look at that. And it will be fantastic on both sides, yes. And as you can see over here, we have more of that metallic blue poking through, but it's only, half there, not fully there. And then we move on to the metallic blue on the kneecap and shin area, which looks just as good. The rest of the white portion of Hudram over here can be really bare, really minimum, and not really all that cool to look at, but then you have these designs on his thighs that offer up some differing details on them, and they look pretty cool. And surprisingly, even though I really don't feel like this guy is very flashy and he really doesn't look all that fantastic, the paint apps are all great, aside from what's going on over here, and I really don't see any poorly placed applications on here, so I am going to have to give paint a solid star. Same goes for detail. Now let's take a look at that tag. Just look at him. You can hear the cocky, smug laugh coming out of his weird ultra mouth thingy. I just absolutely love Hudram's design, and that's why I was a little bit harder on the figure, even though I gave it 2 full stars. I do wish a lot of his colors came through on this figure, and he really reminds me of Kopaka from Bionicle. I guess it's just the white and blue. But anyway, Hudram, number 150, Blue Lightning, Ultra Monster Series. Hudram gotta go fast, just like me. Now, some of you are probably saying, where the heck did Articulation go? It's right here. All 3 of these figures have the exact same amount of articulation, and I just wanted to knock it all out in one go. All the way around on one arm, all the way around on the other, and all the way around at the waist. Solid stars for all. Now we are moving on to the best boy, Gesort. Gazort first appeared in Ultraman Tiga Episode 6, Second Contact, and would go on to show up in Episodes 15 and 28 respectively. Gazort was originally a tadpole-like creature named... Gazort was originally a tadpole creature named... Clitters? What an unfortunate name! I'm surprised anybody found the species. Just look at this lovable little loaf. He looks like the love child of a critter and a manta ray. With all that being said, though, I will openly admit that this is my favorite of the 4 figures that were released. I love his paint, I love his detail, and his articulation might be bare minimum, but God dang it, I love Gazort. I mean, just look at this tag. Look at that design. It's so awesome. I almost said adorable. Now, as far as coloration goes, I'm pretty sure the suit used in Ultraman Trigger was used in the spin-off series Savengar Fight. Savengar Versus? I'm pretty sure it's Savengar Fight. And I personally don't hate the very bright blue with the white highlights on it. I genuinely really enjoy it. I actually bought more than one copy of this because I like it so much, and I might buy more. Love the piercing red eyes and the brownish looking lips, even though they're not fully painted. The teeth, however, are nicely painted, for the most part. Yeah, the front side's a little bit on the weak side. But genuinely, I just love the details over here on Gazort's elf ear looking shoulder pads. Just really, really great looking stuff. And again, the white on blue is great. And just look at that. Yes, I do wish the yellow orb-looking things were painted on, but they're not, and we're going to get over that very, very quickly, because everywhere else on this figure, the detail is fantastic. The paint, yes, is very, very sparse, but holy moly, something, this looks awesome. Look at this. You can even see where the zipper obviously is. Oh yeah, the 3 stripes on the top of his head will be painted and will stop being painted around there. I have a very dangerous Gazort bias. I love this guy, and I've loved this guy ever since I saw him for the first time when Ultraman Tiga was originally airing here in the States on the Fox box. I enjoy the simplistic nature of the paint, and I love the deep premium detail on this thing. So paint and detail, full star. Now, before we get into articulation, let's put the oversized Knitter Boy into his top loader. And now, in terms of articulation, the arms can go up that far, and they can go down that far. But seriously, that's really just it. There will be nothing at the waist over here, and in all honesty, looking at a waist like this, you really can't expect much of a swivel. And I really wasn't expecting the legs, and I guess I was hoping for some articulation in the tail, but seeing as how thin it is over here, expecting articulation was a little bit silly. Yet again, articulation is minimal as heck, but I have a Gazort bias, and Gazort's gonna get 3 solid stars from me. Power type, Sky type, Hudram, and Gazort. This was a pretty good drop, all things considered. I do wish Power and Sky had better paint applications. I really don't know what's going on with the Ultras having poorer paint, but the minute we get into the monsters, the paint application is just on a completely different level. Bandai, what you doing over there? Gazort biases aside, he probably is going to go on to become my favorite figure next to Maruru and Carmilla. Overall, though, the Trigger line is definitely impressing me, but more so in the monsters. I was expecting a little bit more care and love and attention being put into the Ultras, but yo, the monsters, they know what's going on, man. The cool designs, the right amount of color balance on them for a $4 to $5 figure. They're just taking the cake, and if Ultraman Trigger ain't careful, they're gonna take a little bit more than the cake. But either way, seeing my Ultraman collection grow and most of it being padded out with Ultraman Trigger stuff, it makes me happy. I'm truly enjoying going over these figures as frequently as I am, and I hope you are too. Genuinely, never thought I'd be this happy talking about Ultraman. We've got 3 solid stars for the monsters, and we've got 2.5 stars for the Ultras. Seriously, Bandai, treat your heroes better. But anyway, I have been ShinRobjira. When next we meet, I actually don't know what the heck I'm going to be talking about. What's scheduled is the Ultra action figures, Sky and Power type, but knowing HLJ, they're definitely going to throw me off and throw me for a loop, and then I'm going to have to do a video on that Ultra Monster Series monster, Aka Bubu Lubalabala. And eventually the other thing that's coming with that, which is a surprise you can know. But either way, I am publishing a review of the Ultra Action Sky and Power type figures this week. I am going to be publishing a review of the Figma Metroid Prime 3 Corruption Samus Aran figure this week. I'm going to be doing a lot this week, and I hope you'll all be here to enjoy and watch all of the videos, even though they're not all going to be Godzilla related. None of them are going to be Godzilla related, actually. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See you all next time. Peace.